Hey Raiders Nation, we are back today with the latest updates and insider talk on our Las Vegas Raiders. The offseason is upon us, and if you are like me, you are ready to shake things up after another frustrating regular season. Being a Raiders fan is never easy, but it is about finding those glimmers of hope no matter how small. Every year, we look forward to changes, hoping that the team can turn things around, and this offseason feels like it could be particularly interesting. With the potential of a new head coach coming in, everything feels up for grabs. There are so many possibilities, and while some names floating around might surprise you, others make you stop and think about what could actually happen in Las Vegas. First, let's talk about the coaching carousel and some of the names that are being discussed around the league. There is always a mix of speculation, rumor, and genuine opportunity, and this season is no different. One of the first names that has come up in connection to some recent reports is Bill Belichick. Now, before anyone starts freaking out or thinking that this is someone I'm personally rooting for, let me clarify. These are just rumors swirling through the NFL circles, and seeing Belichick's name mentioned doesn't necessarily mean he is the target. But when you consider the dynamics of the Raiders' current situation, it is hard not to think about the impact someone like him could have. Belichick, with all of his accolades and the incredible legacy he created alongside Tom Brady in New England, is a figure who commands respect. We all know he has won multiple Super Bowls and shaped the league in ways few coaches ever have. Yet, despite the accolades, we also know the last couple of seasons have been challenging, and whether he would even want to return to the NFL is another question entirely. Some reports hint at teams exploring conversations behind the scenes. And while the Las Vegas Raiders are not officially mentioned, it is easy to see why fans are drawing connections. The thought of Belichick pairing up with Tom Brady in some advisory or coaching capacity again brings up images of what might have been. But realistically, there are numerous factors to consider. Belichick is deeply entrenched at North Carolina, and his personal life has also been in the spotlight recently, which means a return to NFL coaching may not even be on his radar. Even so, you cannot deny the intrigue his name brings to the conversation. For some Raiders fans, it sparks excitement. For others, it raises concerns about repeating past mistakes. The comparison to past coaching hires, like when Pete Carroll came aboard, is unavoidable. Fans often wonder if bringing in a veteran with such a storied career would truly benefit the franchise, or if it would result in more of the same frustration we have seen in recent years. Belichick's experience is unmatched, but sometimes experience alone cannot fix systemic issues, and that is exactly the debate that surrounds his potential connection to the Raiders. Moving beyond Belichick, there are other names being quietly discussed that could shake up the league. One of those names is Mike Tomlin. He is someone who has a proven track record of consistent success, and his reputation as a leader is second to none. Tomlin has never had a losing season and has achieved remarkable consistency over nearly 2 decades with Pittsburgh. The idea of Tomlin coming to Las Vegas is fascinating because he brings credibility, structure, and a winning culture, all things the Raiders could use. The question is, would he be interested in a move, and how would that change the landscape of the Raiders organization? Unlike Belichick, Tomlin is still actively coaching at a high level, which makes him a more realistic target if the Raiders decide they want to bring in a veteran presence to stabilize and reshape the team. Pairing him with a strong offensive coordinator could create a balanced and competitive team immediately. And that kind of vision is exactly what the Raiders need if they are serious about turning things around in the coming seasons. Then, there's the conversation around emerging coaches who might currently be employed but could be available through trades or negotiations. Kevin Stefanski from Cleveland is one such figure. While his tenure has had ups and downs, he comes from a strong coaching tree and has gained valuable experience running an NFL team. He has faced challenges, particularly in quarterback management, but his overall understanding of offensive schemes and game management could make him an attractive option if the Raiders are looking for someone who can inject innovation without completely overhauling the system. Stefanski's experience might not rival that of a Tomlin or Belichick in terms of history, but he represents a different path, one that could blend youthful energy with tactical knowledge. The Raiders have to consider not just who could lead the team, but who could maximize the current roster while building toward the future. This is where strategic hiring becomes crucial, as the next head coach will influence everything from free agency decisions to draft priorities. What makes this offseason particularly interesting is the interplay between opportunity and necessity. The Raiders are looking for a fresh start, and every coaching rumor seems to carry a degree of hope mixed with skepticism. Fans want someone who can energize the locker room, create accountability, and build a winning culture from day one. At the same time, the franchise has to balance ambition with realism. Hiring a big-name coach might sound exciting, but the fit has to be right, both in terms of philosophy and long-term vision. This is why the speculation surrounding Belichick, Tomlin, and Stefanski is so compelling. Each represents a different approach to leadership, success, and culture, and the choice the Raiders make could define the trajectory of the team for years to come. The key takeaway here is that the offseason is far from dull. The coaching carousel is already spinning, and the Raiders are right in the middle of potential shakeups that could redefine the team. Fans should be paying attention not just to the names, but to the strategy behind each possibility. Whether the focus is on experience, innovation, or the balance between offense and defense, every decision made now will echo throughout the next season and beyond. The Raiders are poised at a crossroads, and the choices made in the coming weeks will signal whether this franchise is ready to reclaim relevance in the NFL or continue navigating the familiar struggles that have plagued it in recent years. The discussions are endless, from evaluating which current head coaches might be on the move, to considering the impact of assistant coaches ready to step up, to analyzing the potential for trades or creative moves that could bring in the right leader. Every rumor, every conversation behind the scenes, every decision about staffing could ripple across the league and, more importantly, determine the future of the Raiders. Fans are watching, analysts are speculating, and the excitement of the unknown is palpable. With the right hire, this offseason could mark the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with hope, strategy, and the potential for real growth. But if missteps occur, it could simply be another year where the franchise remains stagnant, longing for the promise of what might have been. Now, while all of this is swirling in the background, the reality of the current Raiders roster and performance cannot be ignored. Last season's struggles highlight just how critical the coaching hire is. The team has talent, no doubt, but talent without direction and leadership rarely reaches its potential. That is why every rumor, every speculation around the likes of Belichick, Tomlin, or Stefanski matters. It is about finding someone who can not only develop players, but also instill a culture of accountability, resilience, and excellence. The Raiders have been searching for that type of leadership, and the next few weeks could provide clarity on who will step up to fill that role. Continuing with the off-season chatter, it is impossible to ignore just how much potential this period holds for the Las Vegas Raiders. The organization has a chance to completely redefine itself, and that starts at the top with the head coach. As we've discussed, names like Bill Belichick, Mike Tomlin, and Kevin Stefanski are floating around, each bringing their own flavor of leadership, strategy, and culture to the table. The challenge for the Raiders is identifying not just someone with experience, but someone who can seamlessly integrate with the vision that ownership and the front office want for the franchise. This is particularly critical because the Raiders have long struggled with consistency. Fans know that the talent is there in pockets, but without a leader who can unify the team and set a standard, potential often goes unrealized. Mike Tomlin, in particular, represents a fascinating scenario. Think about it. 18 straight winning seasons, a Super Bowl championship, and a reputation for building strong locker room culture. Tomlin's consistency and ability to navigate the pressures of the NFL make him a rare commodity. But the question is, would he leave Pittsburgh for Las Vegas, and under what conditions? If the Raiders were able to pair him with a strong offensive coordinator, someone innovative and capable of taking the offense to the next level, the combination could be transformative. Imagine a Tomlin-led Raiders team with a modern offensive approach while maintaining a disciplined, resilient defense. That could be the formula that finally allows the Raiders to compete at the highest level and return to the playoffs with genuine momentum. Fans are understandably excited about the idea, but as always with the Raiders, there is a degree of skepticism. The organization has had its fair share of near misses and short-lived rebuilds, so the execution of these ideas is just as important as the names involved. Then there is Kevin Stefanski. While his tenure in Cleveland has faced challenges, particularly around quarterback decisions and personnel alignment, there is no denying his football intelligence. Stefanski comes from a strong coaching tree and has gained significant experience managing an NFL team's day-to-day operations. For the Raiders, he could represent a bridge between established experience and modern offensive thinking. He has familiarity with building game plans that are adaptable and that can leverage the strengths of the roster effectively. If the Raiders were able to bring him in as a head coach or even as a key coordinator, it could inject energy and a fresh approach into the team. Of course, Stefanski would need the right support system, and that includes a front office willing to align with his vision, but the opportunity is intriguing nonetheless. The conversation around Bill Belichick, while perhaps more speculative, is still compelling. Belichick's legacy speaks for itself, and pairing his strategic mind with someone like Tom Brady in an advisory or mentoring role could theoretically create a powerhouse of knowledge and leadership. However, there are practical considerations, including Belichick's age, his current position at North Carolina, and his stated intentions regarding returning to the NFL. Even so, the allure of his name is undeniable. For Raiders fans, the idea of bringing in a coach with such a decorated resume sparks discussion, debate, and even hope that big changes could be on the horizon. Yet, it also serves as a reminder that not every opportunity is realistic, and sometimes the fantasy of a coach like Belichick may be more about excitement than practicality. Beyond the coaching speculation, the Raiders' offseason strategy must also consider the broader NFL landscape. Teams across the league are making moves, and the domino effect of coaching changes can create unexpected opportunities. A head coach leaving one team can trigger a ripple of moves, making previously unavailable candidates suddenly accessible. The Raiders, with their ownership and front office actively monitoring these shifts, have to be prepared to act quickly. Timing is everything in the NFL, and being proactive rather than reactive could determine whether this offseason is remembered as a turning point or another period of frustration. Fans should keep a close eye on developments not just within Las Vegas, but across the league, because every coaching decision elsewhere could directly influence the options available to the Raiders. Another critical element to consider is player acquisition and development. The new coach, whoever they may be, will play a pivotal role in shaping the roster. Whether it involves adjusting offensive schemes, redefining defensive responsibilities, or mentoring young talent, the impact is far-reaching. The Raiders have had moments of promise with players showing flashes of greatness, but without consistent leadership, those flashes often fail to translate into wins. A coach with a clear vision, proven leadership skills, and the ability to communicate effectively with players could drastically change the trajectory of the team. This is why so much attention is being paid to coaching rumors, because the next hire could directly influence the Raiders' competitiveness and culture for years to come. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing with whispers that just won't seem to die down. Sources close to the league are hinting at a move that could shake the very foundations of the Raiders' offense. Higgins, one of the most talked-about wide receivers in recent drafts, is reportedly set to join Las Vegas, and fans everywhere are losing their minds over the potential implications. Insiders suggest that negotiations moved at lightning speed, and what started as a casual discussion quickly escalated into what could be one of the most talked-about signings of the season. The Raiders, known for their bold and sometimes unpredictable roster moves, might have just pulled off a coup. Higgins, with his explosive speed, precise route running, and knack for making impossible catches, could immediately become a weapon that opposing defenses will struggle to contain. Rumors from locker room chatter suggest the chemistry between him and the Raiders' quarterback could be electric, offering a new dimension to a team already hungry for recognition and contention. Fans on social media are already speculating about how Higgins' presence could alter the team's offensive strategy. Could this be the missing piece that transforms the Raiders into a top-tier threat? Analysts are split, but one thing is clear. The NFL landscape could be about to shift dramatically. The mere possibility of Higgins suiting up in silver and black has sparked debates, with some predicting a meteoric rise in the team's passing game, while others caution about the challenges of fitting a new star into an established system. Meanwhile, the ripple effect across the league is undeniable. Rival teams are reportedly re-evaluating their defensive plans, anticipating a receiver who can turn even routine plays into highlight reel moments. The rumor mill shows no sign of slowing down, with whispers of behind-the-scenes meetings, contract clauses, and the player's own excitement fueling a narrative that feels almost too good to be true. Whether it's a bold strategic maneuver or a savvy publicity move, one thing is certain. The NFL is watching closely, and fans are already imagining the electric nights ahead, cheering as T. Higgins potentially dons the Raiders' iconic colors. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.